Yeah. Okay, and we are going to ask our guest, one of our guests today, Ryan, as council chair. Yeah.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Nice.
I never heard
JD Miller will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
One day,
Thank you, JD. And the singing of an anthem or a patriotic song led by John Claypool.
My country is a victory.
Thank you, Ryan Vaughn.
Whoa. That mic was.
Introduction. Okay, Tanner, who is here today? That's not usual. Yesterday. Oh, it's not working? Mine works too well and hers is dead. It's not working. Okay. So if you're just gonna have to yell, I guess.
Doesn't work? It's because you yelled in that one. John Claypool yelled in this one. Nope, not working.
Crazy.
I came this way.
Oh, right, but I'm getting yellow lights.
Thank you for not coming around that way.
I got yelled at last week.
And I will.
Turn it down over on.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's better.
I have to let him know. I'm not using it. I don't need to. I don't need to.
You sound great.
Down for a minute.
Yeah.
Mess with it. Yo.
Please don't use the mic.
Is it working? The lights on, but. Yeah.
The lights are at home. Nobody's home.
Okay, all right. Let's just. Get introductions and I think the golf with coming back. Okay. No, is it? No, it's in and out. Okay. Just as a by the way, I wanted to share with you that if you're not attending the district and spring convention fun night on Friday, you're not excluded from our Pioneer Lion Greet and Gap on Friday. We wish you were attending, but if you don't, you're still a Pioneer Lion and you're still welcome to drop by and come and share a libation if you want to, or something light to eat if you're not eating. For those that are coming to the fun night and are eating more. So if you want to join your fellow pioneers for a little social time besides brewing on Friday at between 4:30 and 6 p.m., just show up. I'll be over there.
Where are we going again?
Side Brewing,
Site, okay.
Third Avenue, I think, like 1217 Third Avenue is the address.
At 3 p.m.?
Also, I have learned about a service opportunity. If for anybody is interested, here's a note I received from a Molina healthcare case worker. I'm a case manager and have a member who's disabled and has complex medical conditions. She lives at home with her 2 adult sons who have autism. All 3 require caregiver intervention. Wondering if you have any volunteers in downtown Longview doing light yard work for people in need, or know of another community resource. If you're interested in doing a little bit of yard work for a lady who needs some help, see me and I'll hook you up. Okay. Tail twisters, it's your turn to shine.
Thank you.
Hopefully it'll work. It's not.
But then again, I've allowed boys.
Yeah. That works.
That one works.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I, for one, am not a very good check type person. But Marilyn and I attended a baseball game, Little League game for our grandson. And the lady sitting next to me had a phone out and it had the game on the phone. I said, how is that possible? And she said, it's an app called Game Changer. I said, can it be used 100 miles away where we live? Sure. So anytime our grandson plays baseball, we can get it on our cell phone.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, all right, it's your cell phone. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Steve. Pat. 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 Pat.
That's lion cat to you.
No.
Oh, if I tried, you wouldn't. President Cheryl Bell Lyons said, yes, I have a happy $5. That makes. Well, you come back, you know where I live here. So, the wonderful Jerry saga continues. She is trapped in Chicago today, as we speak.
All right.
Yeah, yep. So in the past 96 hours, she and 13 other folks in the Firehouse Subs world have made, count them, 5,000 sandwiches for a national firefighters convention that was going on
Wow.
in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I said, hey, hon, when you get down into Portland, would you swing over to Bill Plain and grab me a turkey and cheese and bring it home? I don't think she's coming home now. Yeah. No. So let's see. Happy Buck number 2 is probably the last couple of days. This will be on. We're almost completely healed. I haven't actually stared any small children yet. You can say it looks better on. A little bigger. Right, Nikki said it. Oh, then now it makes sense. He's used to looking at scary things apparently. Let's see, third happy buck, Hal has gone to Vegas and he has come back from Vegas.
Yeah.
The happy buck was that he went to Vegas, so fourth buck, sad buck, came back from Vegas. And the last one, of course, is how about that beautiful sunshine out there this afternoon?
Yeah.
Supposed to actually, yes, 50 degrees. Actually, it made it 70 tomorrow, so I think that was great.
Mr. J.D. Miller.
All right, let's start with what you all know is my favorite.
Start with President.
Oh, you're right, I am.
You're not making a
How do you guys do that?
losing a lot of votes there.
President Cheryl, fellow lions and guests. I have a happy butt. Or two or three, depending on how this goes. Once again, I'm happy to be here because, as you all know, this is my favorite noon Lions Club in Longview, Iowa. It's always great to be here. I also have Lion Greg's favorite pin. For those of you who don't have it, it's an N pin because we're all in District 19, and I've been handing these out for about a year. And I still have some left, so anybody who wants an N pin, or as Greg says, the Z pin.
Yeah. The way it lines up.
Please come and see me. And other than that, hope to see you all at the convention. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next? No wonder. Well, I see money. Hello.
Hang line, waiting line. Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me for not standing, but I'm saying, and I'm a usual $5. Half of it is for happiness. I'm happy I'm here, happy I'm capable of being here. The other part is sadness that I can't be here the rest of the time and be out there with the caramel corn.
Is that you say caramel corn? Oh, in Texas, they do? Okay, Mr. Raider. I'm not saying nothing mean about you.
Author saying that we're near as polarized as you think we are. Media, conservative, liberal, social media, always highlights the ever. And he said, think about in the past year, you met score or more people. Long enough around them to judge their character. They seem like basically decent people, help you shovel out in a snowstorm, if you don't get. Volunteer in the community, are good with their friends and neighbors, and focus on those, and realize that we may be thinking about the part that polarize, but our basic values are pretty much very consistent.
Thank God, George.
Very good.
Way to go,
That you don't get snow. Where do you live, this, you don't have to shovel snow.
He lives in his head.
Yeah.
Scary, scary place.
Turned off because, oh, road. Try to go.
Bro, President Cheryl, all lines is guest. I have another law. I've been reading a series of books recently, by a fellow by the name of Philip Gulley, Gulley. He's a minister, and writes for the Saturday Evening Post. And if you get a chance to get one of these books and read them, he can't believe it. If you remember, Woebegone days, The humor is similar, but every paragraph, every chapter is related to the Bible and how it affects our lives.
Thank you. Terry? Terry? Terry?
I am Cheryl Phillips, yes. Happy $5 for finally showing up again after 2 weeks I wasn't here. I'm sure you all miss me. Perhaps you didn't. And yeah, the Saturday Evening Post, I think he uses it for the bathroom or something.
Yes.
Oh.
Smaller pages?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, my happy back is my husband is here. He's doing well, and we're glad to have him back.
Pretty cheap.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I've waited so long, I'm kind of forgetting what I'm saying. One of them is, I am so excited to see some good friends here, Council Chair JD and Susan. And the other one is I'm looking forward to this weekend convention. I'm gonna see several of you. I'm so thankful for that. It's gonna be a really busy weekend for us.
You could always write notes, like Mark.
Yeah.
Mark. Okay, sorry. This, whoa.
Sorry, Mark.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I just got a quick happy dollar for the two guys in the club that are always kind of nosy.
Yeah.
Pat and Steve.
Yeah. It's all good. That's why I told you it has to be silent.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, kind of sad about, I was at the dermatologist again this morning, and he said, at least a couple more weeks with this cover on my nose.
You're still handsome. Mr. Whoever you are.
President Cheryl felt like we get a couple bucks a day. The first one, last Wednesday, my old buddy George Moore's brother Larry was in town. Drove the 73 Mustang came into town. He and Mark and I had a nice lunch, good visit with him, and we'll see him when we go up to Ferndale. We're gonna meet him for lunch up there, he and his brother Ray. The other dollar. Larry? Larry, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's other brother.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
And the other dollar, I'm looking forward to the conference. Not a convention, it's a conference this weekend.
Yeah.
Are you gonna dress up?
Yeah, so.
You're gonna go. Mark will, oh, his belt buckle. Mark will look all handsome and decked out.
Oh, Mark always does.
I have to, I'm the MC.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, there's my weekly $5. The first dollar is very happy, related to just what Greg talked about. Thank you. Related to what Greg talked about, Larry Moore, George's brother, was in town, brought the yellow Mustang in that George drove for a number of years. That Mustang was purchased by my parents when I was a senior in high school. So that was the car I got to drive around as a senior in high school and have a lot of fun with. About 4 years later, I bought it from them and owned the car for about a year and then realized I can't keep it outdoors for a nice car. So I sold it back to them. They sold it to George. When we finished lunch that day, Larry wanted me to go out and see the old Mustang, which I did. And then he handed me the keys and told me to drive it. So I drive it around town, which was great memories to get back. Second dollar, much quicker, just really looking forward to Roaring for Reading and the convention this weekend or conference this weekend, whichever way you want to call that, looking forward to all that. 10 years ago tonight was a good memory for me. It popped up on Facebook to remind me. I was at a home brewers dinner hosted by Fort George Brewing. So those of you who know Fort George, we have some fellow beer snobs in the area. They used to host a home brewers dinner, inter competition. 2 years in a row, my son and I entered competition, and this was the year that we were not only one of the finalists, but we were selected as the best home brew in Washington, Oregon. Very positive memory. Quote of the week. Still have a bottle now? Quote of the week from A.L. Kitzelman. The words I am are potent words. Be careful what you pitch them to. The thing you're claiming has a way of reaching back and grabbing you.
Yeah.
I should know.
Whoever is proud of you. How?
Yeah, can you believe it?
No,
No.
No.
no, your turn.
Okay, thank you very much, President Cheryl, fellow Alliance, I guess, and grabby tail twisters. Happy $5. One is that my brother picked me up from the airport. Yeah, that was a good thing. Yeah, and number two is I want to congratulate Steve on the Pat Palmer Twin Club. Unfortunately, another 100 pounds is what you gotta do. Great. The other $50, there was one 90-degree day where I got out by the pool when I was in Vegas. So my tan is barely there. I'm very happy for my good friend JD and Susan to be here and looking forward to voting for him this weekend.
You have friends?
What? I have friends. And my final one is those of you who know me well enough. I spent about 30 years trying to stay out of politics. Now I'm back into it again.
Oh, that was real.
That was real.
I thought it was a scam. I forwarded it to Sharon saying, is this how old am I? Okay. Dale?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I have $4
Do you have notes too?
No,
She's got a memory.
I have, my grandson is turning 18 tomorrow.
Wow.
And for the next 3 weeks, I will not be here.
Oh,
100%.
Someplace and you're going someplace.
I should, but not for 3 weeks. Jeez.
Well, if you're gonna go, you gotta go.
Hi, John.
Let's sing the song again, John. Aren't ready yet. President Cheryl, fellow lines we get. If anybody was watching me when Mark Phelps announced his memories of winning the homebrew contest at Fort George, I did not clap.
oh,
I've never forgiven Ian and him for not keeping brewing Blair's a Pitch. It was the best IPA.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going this way, around the cord.
Did you have a nice trip though?
Yes,
Yes.
thanks to Eric.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. It's yours.
Can't walk that way.
Okay, I think we're on a one mic at a time basis here, so. No, this one's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is off.
Okay, hers is off, mine's on.
Mhm.
All right,
There's a
sunshine
little
people
while.
back there, do we have cards today?
President Cheryl, Lions and guests, we have some cards here. Notably, we have a card for somebody who showed up. So that is me. Also, we have a card for Ken Otero again. And, recently saw him with Cindy Sessions and he looked pretty good. He's lost considerable weight, but he looked pretty good. He's got a good mood too. And we have a card for Anna Hartley, who's no longer with our club. She was a lion tamer with her husband back here for a while. And, she's, looking at possible treatment for breast cancer. So we have a card for her.
Okay, all right, I jumped the gun there a little bit, I think. Thank you very much, Anne, for letting us know about those cards. I think, Gail, where are you? Oh, there you are, Gail, and it's time to introduce our wonderful speakers.
Yep.
And to that rousing applause, here you go. Thank you. Okay, we have Erin Oren. She's originally from Louisiana, then Colorado. Erin has worked for the past 25 years in Oregon, Washington, and hospice and grief support. After personal losses, it has been a passion to help grievers work through their feelings of losses. Erin was the manager of the grief support at Community Home Health and Hospice and is in the same position at Eden Hospice. Then we have Stephanie Jones. Born and raised in Kelso, Stephanie finds it a privilege to minister her local community as a hospice chaplain. Personal loss combined with training and education, Stephanie connects with those walking through grief. Stephanie is on a mission to show inclusive love within a spiritual care ministry to those of any faith or no faith, and breaks barriers of what chaplaincy has historically meant. Right now, I will introduce Stephanie Jones, or Erin.
Thank you so much. Hey, Stephanie and I wanted to come talk with you today. We both work at Eden Hospice and we do grief support there. And, you know, I think when community hospice closed, a lot of people thought that the grief support in this community was not available. And I just want you to know that that's not true. So we started our children's grief groups with Eden Hospice just last week. And so we serve children who are from school age, so kindergarten up, and their parents at the same time. So we have teen groups, children's groups, and parent groups that go 6 weeks. It's a 6-week class, and it's offered at least 2 or 3 times a year. So the next one that will be starting, I think, is in September. This one just started. So that's exciting. I think that community hospice served the children in this area for so many years, and you know, we're just continuing on with that. We also have grief education classes that are 6-week long classes that really help people walk through all the feelings and kind of the extra stuff that goes along with grief. And we offer those about 4 times a year. And just, you know, I think that Americans don't do grief well. We don't want to look at death. We don't want to look at losses. We don't talk about it. We don't really know how to get through it. So we put our heads down and we get busy, or we just pretend it's not happening, or we suffer. And so whatever we can do to help ease that suffering, we want to. And so I really have focused my whole career on helping grievers and helping people in hospice. And I just want to continue that. So we offer individual counseling, we offer grief support, drop-in groups, and grief education. So we also have a survivors of suicide loss class that we've offered for many years with community, and we're offering it here now still. And that is an 8-week course that helps people who have been affected by suicide. You know, because that grief is a different kind of grief, and it feels like you're polarized and maybe not able to talk with everybody about it. So the benefit of that group is that, you know, the people in that group understand what you're going through and understand how that kind of grief was different. We do have grief education also, at the Canterbury Inn. We offer that once a month there, and so for people in that facility, they have the support they need right there. And so that is something that we want to continue and offer in different areas of the community too, so. I don't know. Do you guys have questions about that?
Where is your location?
Sorry.
Where is your location for that?
We have we have 105, so we're able to have different, of those different rooms. Yeah.
Where do you get your funding?
Well, we, as a hospice, we are required to provide bereavement support to any of the patients that we serve in our hospice for up to 13 months. So because we're providing support to those patients that we serve, we open that up to the whole community because where else are you gonna get grief support? It's a passion of mine to serve the community, not just the bereaved of the patients that we have had on service. So Medicare pays for hospice for the most part. And so part of that is, you know, that we're required to provide bereavement. Is that? Okay. Any other questions? Sarah?
I don't have a question, I actually just have a comment. I just recently went through their class. And I would just like to encourage anyone that is going through grief to check it out. It was really a great class, and I thank you guys so much.
Pleasure, our pleasure. It's a gift for us to get to see people, you know, I think with some education and some support, and even just feeling like they're not walking this alone. They come out of the shell and they feel like that they've been heard and listened to, and really that's sort of our whole goal is to allow people to vent their feelings and feel supported.
I suppose we'll do a microphone. You focus on death, essentially, that type of grief. There are different kinds of grief. Do you address those too? Just someone that's going through a loss of a career, loss of something that's very important to them?
We mostly focus on the grief related to a death of a person. But grief certainly hits everybody, and you know, even if it's a good thing, sometimes like even graduations can cause grief. You know that everything's changing, and I don't know how I feel about it. But divorce, job loss, any of those things, I know that they promote grief. So we haven't really addressed that. We don't really address that in our groups. But you know, we probably could have provided a little bit of one-on-one support if somebody needed that.
There's possible referral you could make to someone in the community for that?
Yeah, I do know that, what's the name of the churches? Oh, Grief Share. Grief Share deals with grief that is related to any kind of loss. So they are mostly held at at churches. I can't remember which church.
Calvary.
Has.
And they talk about divorce and other different kinds of losses. So it's a great group for all kinds of. Yeah, we really do focus on grief as a source. Thanks.
Yeah, I wanted to read the benefits of joining a grief group, which is something that we cover in our 6-week walk through grief class. So a grief group offers a place of comfort and safety. It helps grieving people that other grievers can be trusted. That's very important. We talk about how brave it is to walk through the door for the first time and talk about your feelings in front of a group of strangers, cry, to have all those emotions that come to the surface, and how brave that is to walk into a group for the first time. So we want to really promote that that's a safe place for all of those feelings. The grief group teaches grieving people that the story of another may have resources for their own healing. So the way that I process grief might benefit from the way that Erin has processed grief, and through that mutual sharing is where I can learn other skills. It encourages grieving people to be honest and express their feelings. A grief group helps people healthily release emotions and stories that have been repressed and shamed. Erin touched on it about how we don't do grief well in this country. And so we really give people an option, an environment where they can talk about feelings and talk about ways that maybe other people have said, I can't do that. I can't see your grief right now. Because sometimes that's hard for everyone around us to know what to say, to know what to do, to know what that looks like. So a grief group offers that safe place. A grief group encourages grievers to pay attention to their own grief. It helps grievers recognize and process their feeling towards God, doctors, medical personnel, the legal system, even the person who died. It also recognizes that persons who have failed to appreciate their grief. A grief group finally helps grieving persons find companions for the grief journey. And I think that is so important. We see relationships form, we see friendships form through our grief groups that really can help people outside of, the twice a month that we meet. Our grief group, we meet the first and third Mondays of the month in the afternoon and the second and fourth in the evening. So we try to capture working people and retired people and offer different times where people can meet. But it's so great when we see grievers come together and forge their own community outside of our group as well, because that's really important for walking through grief. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is we have a really wonderful partnership with something called the Threshold Choir. And I don't know if anyone is familiar with that. I would love to have them come visit you someday, actually. They are just a wonderful resource. And the Threshold Choir is, it's three or four people that show up and sing to our patients in their homes and facilities, wherever our patients are. And there are over 200 communities around the world that have Threshold Choir, and we are very blessed to have that in our community. And so that's one thing that we can help people process grief, is by offering these wonderful volunteers that come in, sing bedside of a dying patient. And it's just such an amazing blessing for families, and really is a great opportunity for us to be able to sit with someone in grief and walk through that time with them, with having this the choir sing. So if you would like more information about that, like I said, I would love if they could come visit you guys. Yeah, do you have any questions about any of the classes we offer? Any other questions that I can answer?
The singing group, we had a hospital function last week, appreciation, and they came and sang.
Good.
Acapella.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Oh, geez, there's no room in the end.
Yeah, they sing songs that are specific to Threshold Choirs.
Well, the first thing she said was, we sing for the dead.
Oh.
It was very, very good.
If you get lessons, that guy over there was.
Yeah. Just so you know, years ago, Maryland tried.
I'll think the death.
Yes.
I have a dear friend, a son with the Threshold Choir. So it not only blesses the people they sing for, they are Eternally.
Yeah,
Eternally blessed.
yeah.
It is such a wonderful thing that we have in our community, and I love, we're doing 2 days a month now where the Threshold Choir is coming in for Eden patients, and some of those days I have the good fortune of being able to travel with them to visit patients, and I just love it.
Well, speaking as someone that used to work at community home health, when they came and sang to the patients, it not only benefited the patients, but it benefited the workers.
Yes, yes, for sure. And that is one thing as a chaplain that I also get to provide support to our nurses and our nursing staff, and that is a wonderful part of my job.
Thank you.
Okay, no other questions, I'll pass.
Thank you, ladies, and thank God for you.
Yes.
For coming to speak with us today, we have for each of you our Longview Pioneer Lions serving with fun since 1923 mugs. And just in case you don't have enough to do in your spare time, there is an application for membership should you be inclined to want to join our Marianne. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate all that you have to say, and we're glad you could come and visit today. Okay, moving on. Announcements, and we got a slug of them today. I'm going to start off by saying I would like to call a quick special board meeting after this meeting, real fast. It's, we'll meet behind me here, behind the podium in the back where we always do. It's just to approve a check for one of our annual partners that I would like to get on the regular board agenda on Thursday. So in order to get a check out, you guys have got to say, hey, it's okay. So that's what we'll be doing there. Also, Steve Patterson has some things he wants to share. I'm gonna turn off his mic so it doesn't scream at him.
Stand up, Stevie.
President Carroll, yes, I am standing. Two things, roar for reading this week, if you signed up. We, Thursday morning, the morning session starts at 8:55, but we need to be there at 8:30 in case the books aren't put out yet, so that's the one thing. The other thing is, last year we donated to CARE, and so we need to select a recipient before the end of June. Those people that are Gordon Smith Fellows, after the board meeting, if you could briefly meet with me, Rosemary, Carrie Ann Vitero, Cheryl Coase, Cindy Sessions, Lloyd Williams, Rex Boswell, and Greg Swanson. These are all Gordon Smith Fellows. And you'll need to put together you'll need to get yourself a chairman, decide on a fellowship, and get the thing sent off, so it has to be done by the end of June. Thank you.
That's too much.
2.5 days. Now I can turn the mic on. Okay, thank you, Steve. Is that it? Okay. I just want to remind you, I think there's kettle corn sales on Friday, unless that's changed. Is that correct, Jay?
Yeah.
And it will maybe be slightly curtailed because toward the end of the afternoon, people gotta get home and get ready to go to our wonderful convention that starts on Friday. So.
Conference.
Sure.
Oh, it's a convention.
It's a convention, I guess. I don't know. I'm calling it a convention on all of the published materials that I have seen, so that's what we're calling it this year. What did you say, Rick? Nothing? So it will be ending a little shorter, sooner today, or Friday, probably, so that people can get home, can break down, get home, get dressed, get ready to come back over to the event center, those people that are taking advantage of the Friday arrangements, the Friday activities, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, Darlene, you had something you want to share with us.
President Cheryl Caroline, yes. Monday, the 22nd, at 3:30 to 3:45, we are donating our recyclable plastic bench at North Lake, School Gardens. So if you'd like to, show up, I have a picture back here of the bench, and, we put a plaque on it, donated by Longview Pioneer Alliance 2024. So if you'd like to show up, it'll probably be really, pretty quick, but they are ecstatic about getting the bench. Thank you.
Excellent, that's great. And also on the 22nd, our visitation is still on to Palam Alliance.
Louder.
We still have a sign up sheet for a visitation to Kalama, and that's gonna be 22nd Monday at 6 o'clock.
That's
Okay, and that's at the Kalama Community Center, I think, where they meet, 216, it's on Elm Street, 216 Elm, and the will cost $14. Okay, BDG Maryland.
Two things, the Education Scholarship Committee over here, after club,
After the board?
after the board meeting, so that'll be complete. And I still have registration forms for both conventions, 19 and for this weekend. You can still sign up, you can even walk in that day and register and participate in the activities that don't involve the food. Okay? That's it. Thank you.
Ryan Gray Perman.
President Cheryl, fellow Alliance guests, those that are going to the conference this weekend, I'll have club pins there. So come see me, we'll give you whatever you want. So if you want to do any pin trading. And the other thing, as always, I have membership apps with me. Let's bring some new members in. Thank you.
Okay, Lion Jane Gurdon.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions again. White Cane is coming up in a couple of weeks. It's the first weekend of May on May 4th. And sign-up sheets will be going out, sign-up list this weekend. And we're still trying to confirm the location, but we've done the asking, we're just waiting for their word. So May 4th, and it's not that many people, and they're just 2-hour shifts, so please sign up.
What's this white name for? I don't, it is.
It's to,
For new members.
Okay.
no, it is to make people more aware of Lions Food Recycling Units.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I meant. Please explain what that is to the new members. Okay, there's VP, Terry Ann Patero.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. I have a sign-up sheet that's going around, looks like it is currently in Maryland's hands. And this will be for the new committee chairs and committee members. So please take a look. If your name's on there, you're current. If your name stays on there, you're gonna be on there for this coming up year. And make any changes to that, add your name to anything that's interesting to you. And hope to see a good group of committee chairs in the coming year.
Thank you, Terry Ann. And third VP, Rick Johnson.
Woohoo.
No, it's not. King Lion Cheryl. Queen Lion Cheryl. Fellow Lions guests. Sunday morning, this is the project that we need to go do. I'm gonna drag the concession wagon over to the lake early, really early. And we have a run that we've been requested to go over and feed pancakes and sausage to the runners. And now the runners are gonna be leaving the foot of the Rainier Bridge on the Rainier side around 8 o'clock. So the fastest ones are gonna be at our end
Yeah.
really soon. So we need to be making pancakes and sausage, and I'll have an extra grill over there to cook the sausage and stuff on. Our illustrious tall guy, Steve, is gonna be doing the pancakes, so. So if you wanna watch him flip pancakes.
Does that mean we're gonna have short stacks?
Good one. And the last but not least, of course, our secretary Leroy has something for us.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions, guests here. Couple things, to tag on to what Carrie Ann was saying about committees. If you want to know what committees are, read your roar. It's in there, all the descriptions of all the committees and everything that we have, are in the roar. So it's good explanations for what they are doing, and I do encourage you to get on the committees, because that is what helps or what runs the club. We need people to participate in one of those positions that are at committees, and we need help with those things. And it doesn't require a lot of time, but anyway. The next thing is, coming up, let's see, here's, hold up here. So we have the zone meeting coming up on April 30th. That is also in the roar. If you as far as the information, you need to call in for reservations or RSVP by the 20th. So go back to the roar. It's in there. The telephone number. You get a hold of Jan. And so there's that. And what else is there? It's $15 if you want to eat chicken enchilada, the dessert. And it's just raffles. It's going to be at, right, because they just call it KUMPC. So there you go. Yeah. So anyway, that's coming out. So we inviting everybody in the club to come to the zone meeting and participate with that. Yeah. Oh, and one last thing. So every year, and sometimes it's lasts all year long, I have these perfect attendance points. And I have a perfect attendance non-attendant again, or non-attendance, but he's here today, so I kind of give it to him. And he did remind me when I said hi to him. So Dan Twist. Here's your perfect attendance, and this is for the year 22 to 23, so show the beginning after the first, after June 1st, you get 23, 24. Yeah.
Good job, Dan. So, moving on, let's draw some tickets. Starting as always with the blue ticket, the 50-50 Joker pot. The number on this ticket is 933-913.
Bad number.
Who's got it? Oh, Kurt and Ignacio. Okay, Kurt. And here comes Jay with the card.
Hey, Kurt. Hey,
Way
Kurt.
to go.
Kurt.
One number to black.
And he picks two of hearts. Okay, so far away. Okay, now the red ticket, the donation ticket. And the number on this one is 759-172. 759-172. Somebody out here's got it. Oh, it's John Claypool. I did. Diabetes fund. Thank you, John, very much. That's excellent. And for our Darling and Janie, our baked goods tickets, who gets the goodies?
President Cheryl Alliance They are Isla and Mark.
Isla and Mark, okay, Mark, all right. Let him say Mark, 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 gets, they go home with some goodies. All right. And in today, here's an oldie but a goodie. Smart kid. A young boy enters a barber shop, and the barber whispers to his customer, "This kid comes in here every day. He's the dumbest kid in the world. Watch while I prove it to you." The barber puts a dollar bill in one hand and 2 quarters in the other. Then he calls the boy over and asks, "Which do you want, son?" The boy takes the 2 quarters and leaves. "What did I tell you?" And said the barber, "That kid never learns." The customer leaves. Later, he sees the same little boy coming out of the ice cream shop. "Hey kid, can I ask you a question? Why did you take the quarters instead of the dollar bill?" The kid looked his calm and replied, "Because the day I take the dollar, the game is over." Have a great week, Lonnie.